So I was at Air Force Academy for college. I was a brown kid in Pennsylvania. If you're brown and in Pennsylvania, I get you, and all you want to do is get the hell out of Pennsylvania. So that's where I started. I was looking at any and all options, just desperate to do something that got me out of rural Pennsylvania.
What city were you in?
I was in Harrisburg, which is the actual capital of Pennsylvania.
Nobody knows that. Everyone thinks it's Pittsburgh, Philly.
Yeah, we all remember 5th grade when we got that one wrong.
Yeah.
Right? In our 5th grade.
Harrisburg. Sorry, you got 49 out of 50, buddy.
So I found out that there are these military schools that give you free scholarships, and that's what took me to the Air Force Academy. So I just kind of went all roads to Rome, try and get to a free military education. I was successful. I was the first one in my family to go to college, and went from Air Force Academy into the Air Force, learned about nuclear missiles, learned how to fly, got a top secret clearance, learned Chinese. It was a great Air Force experience. And then when I tried to leave, because I was not a short hair, clean shaven kind of guy.
You were not, even when you were in.
Oh no, I had to be when I was in.
Right.
So every day was one of those days where you're like, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And when you're like 22 years old, 23 years old, like every year feels like a long time. So now we're like, years just disappear. But when you're
So this is the real you.
This is
long hair, Colin Kaepernick vibe, the beard.
I need to get rattier, like dreads. I need to get some sun bleach going on. I want to have that leather skin that you see so often in Florida.
Go down to South Beach, buddy. They're everywhere.
I'm still endeavoring. I'm still endeavoring. But that was what picked me up. So then CIA saw me trying to leave the Air Force, and that's what
CIA saw you trying to leave the Air Force, and then they reached out to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And now let me ask you this: was there a was there a desire to one day want to be an FBI, NSA, CIA? Was there anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I was one of those kids that grew up wanting to be a fireman and a cop and serve and keep people safe. That's what I always wanted to do. When I graduated from the Air Force Academy, my #1 choice, we get to choose, we get to tell the Air Force what we want to do. My #1 choice was Air Force intelligence. But then needs of the service, it's the military, so they put you wherever they need you. So they're like, well, you can fly, you're the right height, you had decent grades, so now you're going to be a pilot. And I was like, oh, well, I was hoping to do intel. And then, you know, going through my Air Force career, I wasn't the best at anything. And the Air Force had just told me that I couldn't be an intelligence officer. So the last thing I was thinking as a 27-year-old is that I should apply for CIA.
They told you you couldn't be an intelligence officer? For what reasoning?
Because they wanted me to be a pilot instead.
Okay, got it.
So I was like, I took my swing at bat. I got turned down. I'm not going to keep wasting time on this one. So when I got the phone call from Langley, I was like, maybe you didn't see in the records where I already got passed up for this once, or, you know.
Interesting.
I learned later on how how CIA actually recruits. And then it all made sense. But at the time, I was thinking, I've already been flushed out of this system. Like, there's no reason to expect that.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that I saw you say something to the effect of you were applying, or you wanted to get into the Peace Corps, and you had two main things on your mind, which very much so resonates with me. You wanted to see the world, and you wanted to get laid.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, what else is out there? And then something popped up on your screen that said,
how is it out of hundreds of hours of content out there, that's the only thing you saw?
I mean, at the end of the day, some great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike.
Well, can we talk about how nonchalantly you're like, yeah, I got into the Air Force Academy. Like, that's nothing to shake a stick at, man. You have to get 2 senators to sign. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2 senators to sign off, the governor to sign off. Like, that's nothing to shake a stick at, man.
Well,
plus, you
it.
flew for him.
Our 85-year-old shake a stick reference. I've never heard that from anyone.
I'm 80 at heart, baby. I'm 80 at heart.
Old souls are the best. Yeah, there's some challenges to get the Air Force Academy. But being a brown kid in Pennsylvania in 1998, I mean, affirmative action has its benefits. It also helped that I was a busboy in a white person's golf club where the senator or where my congressman liked to frequent.
Okay.
So I was a hardworking busboy who actually had the ear of the congressperson, and then my bosses backed me up. They were like, hey, this guy's a busboy, but he's not going to be a busboy forever. Right? Back this kid up. Back this kid up.
No, really?
Yeah. It's all about, my success is not because I'm smart. It's not because I'm like lucky. It's not because I'm anything other than just blessed by the fact that other people stepped up and lifted me up one more level.
So then when you're in it and you're thinking, well, this is not going to work out, you know, Air Force intelligence, I'm going to have to figure something out. Was it an immediate thing that they contacted you? Because my friend, he wanted to be Delta. A friend of mine wanted to be Delta. To become Delta Force, you're not going to be like, hey, guys, can you tell somebody from Delta to reach out to me? I really want to be Delta. You can do that with Special Forces. You can do that with Ranger. You can do that with a lot of things. Not with Delta. All of a sudden, he disappears for 8 years. And then years later, I meet up with him in Madrid. He says, yeah, I was Delta the last 12 or 13 years. But that was his dream from 18. When we first got to the unit at 101st, that was his dream to go Delta, and it happened. Was it the dream to become CIA? Was it the dream? Okay, so it wasn't. That part wasn't for you.
Yeah. It was never a childhood dream. I've worked with people who fit your story exactly.
Yeah.
9, 10 years old. I want to be CIA. Went to college, picked their major, did everything to get there, and then they got there.
Yeah.
But that just wasn't me. If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip or here to see the full podcast episode.